Here we are at the home page of CSC-200. Let's take a look at the projects for Unit 3. In order to get to the projects, we've gotten to the Unit 3 page. By clicking on Projects, we get to a listing of 8 projects that I've got planned. I actually will be putting 2 more out there. 5 of these are available already, and it's one of these that I'm going to take a look at right now. What I'd like to look at this point is this very interesting one of creating a video game. All the things we talk about in terms of multimedia lead up to their application in creating video games, and this assignment I think is going to be a lot of interest to students who have had some experience and perhaps gotten a lot of fun out of playing with games. So let's take a look. Like all the assignments, this comes to you in one carefully edited page. I don't really think writing should meander on a long way, and the business of tailoring it to one page really makes me go back and edit them to be concise. But I do include these kinds of illustrations here just so you see what you're getting into. And here we have 3 little illustrations taken from the website of the vendor that makes this product, Game Maker, available. It's a simple environment. Here you see the top part of the screen. The environment lets you create games just by dragging these kinds of objects onto the screen and indicating actions in between them and various other kinds of things. So you might think about what kind of a genre this sort of game fits into. You won't be building the big action hero or Doom kind of games with this. This is a lot tamer, probably has some application for educational game development. What I'd like to do is start off by having you take a look at a very brief video. Since you're here at this point because you've got an interest in video games, I thought it'd be kind of interesting if you saw the kind of environment that actually is present in the workplace these days to create games that are commercial successes. So click on this link here, and what you'll see is the way that I package up the presentation of videos in this course. This is just a little bit of HTML that surrounds the embed code for the video, but it gives me the chance here to put in various kinds of comments, and you'll see that because of the way that I've cropped this screen, you're not seeing all of the comments. In fact, I've purposely set the size of this screen so that it does justice to the graphics. Here, in all of this talk, I'm simply describing the relevance of the video. I've also got a link here I'll explore in a second, but let's take a brief look at part of this video.
I'm Guha Bala, President and co-founder of Vicarious Vision. Marvel Ultimate Alliance is really about bringing the superhero fantasy to the next level. To be able to make a game like this happen, we had to build a phenomenal team.
I'm Dan Tanguay. I'm the game director on Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 at Vicarious Visions. A game director is the person who's responsible for maintaining the vision of a project. We decided early on that we really wanted to push the state of the art. I and other people who are leading the team really create kind of this window or this canvas that people are working on. A lot of it's just working with people and directing people as opposed to directing specific decisions.
Well, that's as much of that as I'll give you a lead into, about 1 minute, and it's only a 5-minute video. You really should take a look at that. Also, in this preliminaries to watching a video, I've included here a link that lets you explore what DePaul University offers in the way of game development as a major. If you click at this link, you'll be directed to the College of Computing and Digital Media, CDM. There is even a game development major, and it's an interesting one. It's popular among people who have already had some experience with games and want to learn about the insides of them and perhaps even think about a career in that field. So I just thought I'd make that a little easier for you to find. Let's go back to the assignment itself, though. You're not going to, in this project, build one of those high-powered action hero games that you saw demonstrated in that short video. What you will do, though, is download an environment that provides a simple way to make kind of a simple game. And it's got a number of real advantages to it for exploration in this course. One of them is it's available free. this Game Maker environment comes to you with a download that's only 10 megabytes in size. And this is the website of the vendor where you can acquire it. Now I'll click here. It's a little bit messy website. See, there's a lot of stuff going on here that's kind of makes it obscure in order to find what you're looking for. But right here in the center of the screen, when you click on this, you get information about how to download the Game Maker. It's available both for PCs and for Macs, which makes it really great for a course like this where you might have one or the other type of computer. Let me just get out of here. I'm not going to go doing all that download. You can explore that for yourself. What I am doing here, though, is I'm going to explain what's involved in this project. Now, the product itself, Game Maker, is provided with a tutorial. It's really a training piece of software, as well as a piece of software that lets you, in its more advanced version, the Pro version, which really only costs $25 to license. It's a real bargain. And you get it, in fact, when you do the download, but you just don't have the product key that makes the advanced features accessible to you. I'm not trying to sell the product. This project can be done with simply the light version, which is what you get free. But I am directing your attention to this tutorial. It'll appear on the right side of the screen when you activate, and it will explain how to create a simple game. So what you need to do is this to start with. Go through the tutorial after installing the program. It will step you through the building of a very simple game. Now what you need to do, once you follow through and build that game and test it, and the testing should include outputting the freestanding copy of it, which means you can distribute that game to other people. Testing it includes taking that freestanding copy and actually running it on some other computer, so you can demonstrate to yourself that it works without any connection to the Game Maker environment. Once you've done that, go back to your original saved game and put some variation into it that's unique to you. Perhaps different characters, perhaps different objects, perhaps a different intent, some different types of actions. You can be creative without getting too complicated. But the idea is for you to be original in a practical way in terms of effort. Don't let this dominate your time. Something simple in the way of changes that shows me that you've actually gotten in here and understood enough of the product to be able to be original and create things with it is fine. Then what I need for you to turn in is the freestanding version of your variation of the initial game, which you will have output and tested on some other machine. It might even be kind of interesting to see if the game that you output as freestanding can work on the other kind of computer. That is, if you develop this on a Mac, would that game run on a PC and vice versa? Or would it need a different version? That's something you can explore. In addition to turning in your freestanding copy of the game that you created as your original game, that is, not the one that you built from the tutorial, but the one that you introduced variations in, the second one that you had built. I need that submitted attached to an email, but I also need a short narrative describing your experience with Game Maker and your experience in building your original game. You can make that a half a page or a page. You can make it single space would be fine, and that will just be attached as a document to the email that submits the Game Maker game also. This can be kind of a fun project for you. I would caution not to get too carried away. It really is just a simple exploration of creating a computer game. But it might give you some ideas for all sorts of things that you can do, for games for entertainment, or perhaps even games for education. So have at it and have some fun.